I think music is one of the most kind of powerfully evocative things that there is, along with smells. Sometimes you sort of smell something and it takes you back to a sort of time and place. Dennis started Slowboat in 1986 and I've been here since 2001. I mean, it's just something that I've always been interested in. I've always bought records, even when the industry sort of shifted towards CDs. I just kind of liked records. I liked the tactile nature of them. I like the size of the cover art. There's something sort of weirdly, almost sort of magical about dropping a needle onto a piece of plastic that's got stuff scraped into it, and that makes this kind of quite amazing sound. There was probably a time when it was probably primarily sort of British and American sort of indie guitar bands sort of thing, but over time I reckon that your taste just sort of gets broader and broader, and you maybe read interviews with people whose music that you like and they name check other things, you go back and you investigate the stuff that will have inspired the people who made music that you really liked, and it inevitably sort of leads you back to sort of like, you know, 60s things, and even further than that into the kind of roots of rock and roll, into, you know, jazz and country and folk and blues and all these other things. So this the one thing I always sort of think about music is that it just sort of runs in all directions, and, you know, there's a sort of broad kind of rule of thumb that I kind of have that's a bit like, you know, with records like 5 is too many and 50 is not enough, and they're a very satisfying consumable item. They you know, you I don't know, it's sort of almost an intangible thing. I think, you know, even now that you have access to the entire history of music online, I mean, in some ways I think it's kind of good that there is almost sort of a democratization of music where, you know, you have streaming services, you can watch and listen to stuff just on somewhere like YouTube, or you can pay for a download, or you can buy a CD. Like, it's almost like there are tiered price entry points, and records are expensive now, so one of the things that you see with some people is they're going back to CDs. If they still want to have a physical, tangible item, if you can buy 3 Lana Del Rey CDs for how much it will cost you for one double album, which is actually pretty much the case at the moment, maybe you do that.